Hello.
There's kind of like madness going on in the arts. They'd be like, I couldn't possibly sustain the existence I have if I wasn't I'm a playwright. And if people came to my plays and they weren't subsidised by the public, then first of all, nobody would come to them. And, well, yeah, I wouldn't be a playwright. How can I be a playwright? How can I possibly be a playwright without public subsidy? That's basically what it is. It's like, well, fucking, do you know what I mean?
Yourself the fantasy that you're 13.8 billion years old and you're part of this incredible ocean of happening instead of just this one individual. Just let
I had sex with a blind woman. She said, "Tyler, you have the biggest dick I've ever had my hands on." I said, "You're pulling my leg."
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La, 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 la. This is how we
Ja. No, du wartest.
はい、見てました。はい、見たよ。こんにちは。
Amici, sono al bar del presidente con la bella Francesca. E voilà, c'è il gioco fatto. Grande.
Spend your pocket money on.
Comes to food and premium bonds. You used to be able to get a decent ice lolly for twopence. Now you can only just get a decent one for sixpence, and that's doubled.
Sorry.
My friend Billy, he told me he...
It's 10:10. We weren't even, it was 10 minutes had passed, we didn't even know. Nigel Smith, good morning. It's 5 a.m. I'm feeling rough. Fair play, Nigel. Well, it's great that we've got you with you.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Now, alarming evidence of the lengths radio pirates have taken to protect their stations. They've turned the tops of London tower blocks into fortresses. Police and council officials...
Do you live in Edinburgh? Or even Dubai? Are you over the age of 18? Do you enjoy making other people's lives a misery? Then why not apply to become a local councillor? Due to another outbreak of scandal, 2 exciting new opportunities have become available in Ward 8. Did you know, when it comes to incompetence, ineptitude and corruption, Edinburgh Council outperforms all other local authorities in Scotland? And this is your opportunity to become part of the racket. Team. Do you worship at the altar of Jeremy Vine, Lord of the Pedophiles? Are you a fully paid up member of the Church of Climatology? Do you oppose social mobility for working class people? Then this could be your calling. Don't worry if you have no understanding or experience about how the city should be run. You'll be right at home with a group of individuals who are even more clueless than you are. By voting in the interests of private developers, you'll become a valuable proxy for predatory capital, helping to displace the indigenous population with student flats and artisan bakeries. Furthermore, if you enjoy sexual roleplay, dressing as a police officer, or sending raw, unsolicited images of your genitalia to asylum seekers and refugees, then you could be eligible for the recently vacated post of council leader. Simply submit your papers by 5 p.m. on Tuesday the 17th of December at the City Chambers for your opportunity to assist in the destruction of the capital city of Scotland.
Well, well, well. Oh, we return. We've got some strange little chilly vibes going on here, haven't we? What's going on with this? Does that make any difference? It's always something, isn't it? Always something when you're a professional streamer. I'll sort it out as we continue. Now, where are we? Wee bit snowy. I've got a wee bit weird thing going on with my lights, but you know what? Not even bothered. A full house. Kit Kats. Rob a post office. I don't know what that means. Up and young, good evening to you. Thank God What the X is back. It is back. I'm back. Oh, where's my washboard? Is it there? It is. Why do I sound rough? Did I sound rough? Kevin Spence says, you sound rough, pal. Thanks very much. I feel alright. Got a wee cup of tea in that, eh? Right. I look a wee bit rosy though. Well, I'll sort that out. I'll sort it all out. I'm sorting my bits and bobs here. Fixed my microphone, you'll be pleased to know. That's all I did, that's what I managed to do at the time we were away. RLF. We go again. For our discontented massive. Like and share. Subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Evening all. Happy Friday the 13th, and a very happy Friday the 13th to you, Rona. Who made this? Who do you think? Who made this? Is this our Christmas party? Not the actual Christmas party. But it can be a Christmas party. But a very good evening to you, Doreen. Not a fan of the anti-cycle stuff. Nothing wrong with cycling. Evening to Macapella. Look at all these there's so many of you. I can't put all these comments up. I'll just let you chat away. Can a Ouija stand for Edinburgh Council? I think anybody could stand for Edinburgh Council. In fact, that's kind of the point, isn't it? Loving that wee vid. Not bad, eh? Right.
In fact, we should give it hats off to the two people that helped make that wee vid possible, which is the incredibly talented Mr. Joey Locke, who's the star of that wee vid, and the ever dependable and reliable Kip Cozy, who once again joined. Who is here? I can see comments over there that I can't see here. There's always something. I'm getting quite a technical tea or mulled wine, if only. I used to love mulled wine. I used to have this like glass kind of vase thing or something. It was so, I don't know what, it looked like a vase, but you put a candle underneath it and it kept your mulled wine warm. And I used to get totally trolleyed. I'd sit and drink mulled wine all night. But those days, as the Corries sang, are gone now. For Monsieur Teetotal. Let me know if any of these music things as to let the weekend commence. I couldn't. Well, get on, go crack on, Doreen. Share it. Pour a glass for us all. I think anyone can stand. Actually, that's what I was about to do. Hold on. I think I've got it here. I think this is the page here. Yeah. Right. So, basically, it's free. So, get on it. It's free to enter. So I think everybody should get on the ballot. I mean, at the very least, it'll give them a wee bit more administration, right? You've got until Tuesday to. It's free. Just get somebody to witness your signature and just go in and get on the ballot. So let's just flood the ballot with names. Let's get as many folk as we can on the Collinton and Fairmill Head ballot. I think that would be a great thing to do. Everybody should be, let's just all get on the ballot. Imagine how long the ballot would be, like a Dead Sea Scroll or something. Anyway, I was very pleased with the efforts of my comrades putting that together. So I think I should, I was going to tweet it. If I tweet it out, you can retweet it, whoever's here. Is that music too loud? I've changed my audio the way that I do my audio. You need to let me know. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on Discontent. Here it is here.
Dressing is okay. Do you live in Edinburgh?
Why not apply? In fact, I'll just stick it out. What should we call it? Good evening, Bob. What the ex-fam? Howdy. Howdy to you. I have actually missed you so a wee bit. Just a wee bit there. See, I can't now. I've got to really multitask and decide what I would call this. All right. Why not apply? Or apply below. In fact, I can't even bother. Apply below. There we go. Oh. Right. Well, let's do this. I'll put the link on the tweet below. I'll add that to the tweets below. Well, I see I've got Doreen still up on the screen there. There's nothing wrong with that. nothing wrong with that. Who have we got on here? Kev Spence says, fuck me, your music is on par with Babe Station. Is that a tacit admission to watching Babe Station, you filthy animal? If my Sonics are on par with Babe Station, I'm alright with that. Let's get some of the babes. Let's get the babes. Only Bams. Everybody's been having a meltdown about this. Well, not a meltdown, but what is it like? This lassie that I think I mentioned it the other week there. See, I've got some glitching going on in my live stream as well. Warning, the stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. Didn't care what to do about that. Bob Station. I like it. I like it. Hold on a minute. Did that... There we go. Right, did it post it yet? Has it posted it yet? Aye, it has. Right, so what do I do? I'll add it, hold on a second. I'll just make sure. Is this scintillating for you all? How many people are there? Quite a lot. Wait a minute, where is it? Ward 8. There we go. Right. Quality. Job done. I'll go back here. Right. Sometimes it feels like work when you do that stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like a wee bit of work. Figuring all that stuff out. Right, so there's been quite a lot of stuff has happened in the time that we've been away. I was going to write down. I was going to write down where to start, and but I never wrote it down. So yeah, give that, tweet that, retweet that then. Madam Guy, hi to you. No, I'm off the recreational lens sweeps. Hi everyone, says Madam Guy. Now, where was it? What was I wanting to address? It's all been a bit wild in the old council and that. We did. I tell you what, I'm going to take a short commercial break. I'll be back in a couple of moments. I'll be back in a few minutes actually. I'll be back shortly.
Just another day forward. I know life can take me on my word. Left them pills cause they're making you panic. To get away from this urban panic. Oh, put your head down. Yeah. pills, cause they're making you manic. You gotta get her from this panic.
If, after having been exposed to someone's presence, you feel as if you lost a quart of plasma, avoid that presence. You need it like you need pernicious anemia.
To go from birth to the grave without ever encountering DMT is, to my mind, like going from birth to the grave without ever having a sexual experience. It means you skated through life. You never got it. You never figured out what it was for. And that unnerves me, because I think what life is for is to figure it out. So the worth of it is that it shows you beyond a shadow of a doubt that the world is made of magic. That's what the world is made of. Not natural law, not interlocking cause and effect, not any of these things that are normally assumed. The world is magic, not a little bit, 100%. Every atom from one end of this cosmos to the other is magic, magic, magic. In a sense, we're involved in a little cosmic drama here. I don't know how they keep the lid on this stuff. Fate has chosen you to hear about this. If you now go forward and live in your, mundane stock portfolio BMW existence, it's because you're making a choice. Because you heard from Terence McKenna that there was an entirely other possibility. I mean, I think that this is the secret that wants to be told. You don't have to avail yourself of it. But I think it's a moment of great import in a person's life when they are told about DMT, because it's what everyone thinks is impossible. If you've never heard of it before, you're hearing about it now.
We're gonna rock on to Leslie Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Hey, we're gonna rock on to Leslie Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Hey.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Choose who they want to be.
I fully accept the privileged position that I occupy, but this sounds a bit like, what would you do if Hitler was raping your granny? And I'm sorry, but that's not actually, that's not the situation that I'm facing.
I'm back. I didn't. Right. So I didn't go anywhere. I just got a bit confused by something. It's not unusual. So what do we think is the story with the council then, with Cammy Day, and all these machinations at the council? I know that not everybody here's from the Ferradina, but it is all a bit strange. It seems to be some strange going on at the council, and there's lots of rumours. there's lots of things being said, and you never know what the truth is in these things. But I think that we should all run for council. I think that's what we should encourage everybody to run for the council. I mean, let's face it, we couldn't make a worse job than what they're already making of it. To be honest, I think that a friend of mine reckons that Paul Lawrence is behind Cammy Day's dethroning, and that there's maybe something to be a wee bit concerned about in that. Not to say that Cammy Day hasn't got a particularly questionable level of things going on for him right now. We shouldn't laugh about these things, but it's like, if you remember, Paul Lawrence isn't democratically elected. Paul Lawrence is the chief executive, and ever since Paul Lawrence has been involved in Edinburgh Council, Edinburgh has kind of exponentially got worse. Every year that Paul Lawrence has had something to do with the council. Here we have Donald Turville. Donald Turville, the roving reporter, who is now working for the Herald. Donald Trump and Donald Turville. Oh, look at this. I've never seen this before. Donald's taken to making video content. We need to stop all actions right now and hear what he's got to say. The Herald is taking on the Capitol. He's getting right into it. Let's have a look here. I might even have to stop the snow. Let's just wait a wee second. What's going on here? What do you mean the Herald is taking on the Capitol? Let's see.
City's phone signal, the homelessness situation.
Let's hear this.
Hello from the Meadows.
Hello.
It's one of many fantastic green spaces. We've got our seat just in the back there. And I am Donald Turville, brand new Edinburgh correspondent for the Herald. That's right. The Herald is taking on the capital. Now, I live here in the city. I've covered it as a journalist for the last 3 years, and I'm always interested in what's happening and the issues that people care about. So far I have looked at the phone signal, the homelessness situation, and the council's of unlawful accommodation, and all the other drama from the city chambers. We have big plans for 2025, but we also want to hear from you and what you think we should be looking into. So please do drop us a message, drop me an email or a message on X or Blue Sky, and let me know what you think we should be focusing on in the new year.
Right, well, the Herald are up in their game then. To be honest, it's a wise move because the state of Edinburgh journalism is paltry. You know, we've got that absolute sweetie wife weirdo Brian Ferguson, who just like you'd get a better job from an AI, and then you've got like the Scotsman is just terrible. There is really, it's a shrewd move on the part of the Ouija press, but just another example of just the Ouija's just being in control. But to be honest, there's you could do worse than having the Turvillator doing local reporting. I do rate Donald. I think he's a good journalist. I've said this before. He makes a good effort, you know. He does it. He works hard. He's like old school. He's kind of old school. Somebody's saying there's an echo. There's an echo, is there? What's going on with that then? Is it still there? The run of revelations suggests someone wants him binned. Who? Lawrence or Day? Lawrence or Day? We are scared. Latest news from the city chambers. I'm putting the snow back on, I liked it. We are scared of what's next. what councillors are saying about Cammy Day. Just when you were playing the video, right? Good to know. We're easing back into things here. We're easing back in. First, it's the oh, I know. Right, of course, they want him out his councillor seat. Well, that's evident, right? First, it's the Ukrainian, then it's the Ukrainians, then it's the flats. Councillors are now at the point where we start every day scared about what is going to be uncovered next about Cammy Day, writes one who asked to remain nameless. There's a growing hope he'll just resign as a councillor altogether. Otherwise, this could haunt the council for months. I hope it does. It's the most entertaining thing we've had happen in Edinburgh for ages. So Lawrence, Council Chief Executive Paul Lawrence said in an email, officers visited a property owned by Day. It would appear that it is indeed tenanted and there is no landlord registered. Councillor Day is the owner of the property. They're such hypocritical bastards, aren't they? Tora Burns put that thing up. She had a go at him about, you know, the way that he was talking about the youth groups and stuff, and then he was getting all self-righteous and that. Remember when Gary Fraser was talking about him when it was the fireworks thing. And then look at that, Cammy Day. Yeah, so it's high drama at Edinburgh Council. Tories calling in the big guns for calling it. And so they're out there. See, this is the thing. There's two seats now available in the by-election again, because the Liberal Democrat. Does everybody understand what happened there? The woman that won, remember when we ran? And I say like we, it felt like a collective. Kev Spence's comments are unrepeatable. There will be something else next week, but I know people who've come across him, and he's an odd guy. It's like, so people knew, and now they're coming out with it. This is the thing, they always know. They always know what's going on, you know? And they know exactly what the drill is. But see, I tell you what the problem is with the council. One of the big issues with the council is that there's really no individual voting, you know. It's like the group, every group decides. So they're basically all whipped, and so they're just really placeholders. The councillors that are there, and then council officials are more often than not essentially advising on what to pass through, what's to happen. But I think it is interesting. I think that Jim Slavin wrote a fantastic article the other day that I would recommend everybody check on his Substack about the state of the city. And I think it is a kind of crisis thing. It is because it's quite a sad thing. But I think a lot of people more are really beginning to sort of realise like something's really not right about this town. And nah, it's there's no heating. The heating's off. That's why I've got my jacket on and that, and my scarf. But it's snowing as well. Can you not see? Anyway, nice to see you, Niggy Burke. But it's there's definitely some dark things afoot with Edina at the moment. So next week, I should update you all on the schedule. Have you missed What the X? Tell the truth, come on. Have you missed it? Been away for 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks. Anyway, the schedule will be Monday morning, 10 o'clock. Back to your old Mondays at 10. Wednesday morning at 10 again. We've dispensed with What Are the Six. I enjoyed What Are the Six, but we've dispensed with it. And come on, let's have it. Aye, it's been boring. Right, well, we need to start upping the ante, right? Because I'm no one for really like getting into the nitty gritty of things and that, but I like What the X and I'd like to build it, but we're going to have to build it together. We're going to have to make this a team effort. We're going to have to, but Friday evenings at 7:30, we're going to try this for the next few weeks, and we'll get some. Will that work if I push that button? I did. No, the camera's off just now. We'll get some nice guests in on a Friday evening. That'll be the goal. We're also talking to some people next week, and those conversations will go up on the Patreon. But they'll also be available for everybody else to check as well. Aye, yes. I'm new here. Excuse me, you are excused. You're all welcome. Aye, it's been boring. Nah, it's not been. Didn't tell me. You've never been bored, Katrina. Emphatically, yes. Like, need to fill the massive What the X-shaped hole. Brilliant. Okay. Well, let's fill it. Let's fill it right in. Kev says it's a strange position with the council. The money ain't there, but the high Hegians continue to soak up their wage. There's also quite a lot of I don't want anybody know getting paid or that, but I think there's quite a lot of people get paid that didn't actually even work at the council anymore or something. I've been told some mad stuff. I've been told some weird stuff of late. I tell you why, right? I tell you what it is, right? I knew about the Cammy Day thing months ago, and I thought the person that told me was pulling my leg, and I kept telling them that they were mistaken, and it turns out that they were right. So I'm going to listen to this person more often, because I thought that they were confused. I thought they were thinking about somebody else. But I tell you what, they weren't. They were dead right. So that person definitely doesn't watch What the X, but they definitely do know what goes on at the council. Rocky Vibrations. Aye, I was here last night too early in anticipation. I tell you what I did when I went away, which was great. I went to the gig with we did the gig. Tell you what, I did that gig with Gutter Blood. Actually, we'll stop this trancing disco vibe just now for a second. I went and did the show with Gutter Blood with the guys at the Banshee Labyrinth the other week there. It was brilliant. And it was later time on Friday is ideal for us fannies in stupid time zones. What makes a time zone stupid though? You know what I mean? I quite like the international aspect of this, Richard. I'm flattered that you've joined us. But actually, I'll play a wee clip of where we were at with Gutter Blood. It was a great night, and the other band that played, Degrassi, they were amazing. They were brilliant. I hadn't checked much of their stuff before, but they were absolutely brilliant. So hopefully we can do another show with them. I'll play as a wee clip, because it's a bit of a novelty thing for me to be part of, and it was a good night.
The gas clicks off. There's no money in the meter. The baby's crying. There's mould on the walls. lights off, there's no money in the meter. The baby's crying, there's no on the wall. She's missed a meeting, she's sanctioned for girl foul. Lecky goes out, she's totally fucked. She's by herself, nobody to trust. The lights flicker, the telly goes black. She lights a candle, wraps her belt tight. On with her stockings, and into the night. 50 quid later, you spent for galactic. Looks like fantastic, she got the cash. Stealing the baby with her ass. Her legs are red, no water falls. Stealing her eyes, her legs are red. Fuck this, she said, spits on his head. You baby's magic butts, you baby's magic butts, you baby's magic butts. She's taking it to the cell. So I sent for sex and I saw an officer. Left her sentence if you admit to the opera. I'm back, an animal, I'm mother in distress. What she'll do next is anyone's guess. Fuck you, I'm giving my baby back. Fuck you, I gave you my baby back. She's running a bag, she's put the cunt's nose. He's stealing an agony, the fuck has she done wrong?
So as you can see, it was quite a raucous, raucous event. That was great, honestly, it was a really good night. They do have Bob, who is actually a diamond guy. I've known Bob for many, many years actually, and he's a super lovely guy. But they were honestly brilliant. One of the best bands I've seen. Drummer, singer, dude, I can't remember his name, forgive me, forget his name, but I'll absolutely brilliant, really, really good. Where else are we? Where are we at then? So, aye, that's the schedule. Hold on a second. Raucous and rollers. It's loud, honestly. They're loud, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. A good night. Now, where are we at? Sometimes I don't want to get too heavy with some stuff this evening. Due to... So the other thing that they're trying to do was... they want to bring the road. There's this kind of this agenda thing. What do we think about the? We'll get more into it. We'll do more. I tell you what, right? See, I'm not going to cover the CEO killer because everyone else has covered it. Everyone else has gone on about it. It's obviously a massive story, but the person that covered it best, as far as I'm concerned, was Mark McGee. I was watching Mark earlier and it was brilliant. It's another cracking video by Mark. So I'm going to chuck it. I'm going to chuck it in the. Find it here. I'm going to chuck it in the chat. And so when I leave, go and watch Mark's take on that because it's good. On his This Is the News. You call that radio. Let me find it here. Here we go. CEO killer, yeah. Right.
Well, the biggest news story.
Actually, we'll just watch a wee bit of Mark talking about it because it was good. Because he came up, he went and found out all like the figures of the healthcare and stuff. Let's just check a wee bit of Mark talking about this actually because it's really good. I need to put it on full screen here, do I? I'm sure he won't mind me doing this. Where do we go? Right, here we go.
Of the week.
Right, I'll get out of the
It's
way.
undoubtedly the fact that a guy shot a CEO dead in the streets of Manhattan. He got away with it for 5 days. He got a bike, an electronic bike, then he disappeared into a bus, and he was 250 miles away. But he went for a Big Mac, and because he went for a Big Mac, he got caught with the murder weapon and a manifesto and a handwritten letter of guilt. So I don't know if he wanted to get caught or he just really wanted a Big Mac, but he was just stoating about it. He got caught big time, but his lawyer says that he's pleaded not guilty. The entire world is seemingly on his side, which is mental. The left and the right have been united and been pro-assassination, which has never happened before on any topic. And that's just how unpopular insurance companies are in the United States of America. And it does affect us over here on the other side of the pond, because the way the NHS is going, is this is our future that we have to look forward to, where you pay a lot of money for insurance, and then when you need the insurance, they reject your claim. And that's what we're talking about today. It's inspired lots of talk about corporate greed. It's inspired talk about the unfairness of insurance companies. It's inspired a lot of memes, a lot of conspiracy theories, and we're just going to try and do a roundup of everything that's happened in the last week, and then I'm going to give my opinion, and then you can give your opinion, because you call that radio. So it's your call on, you call that radio. So I always like to hear what you've got to say in the comments.
You call that radio.
If you're listening to audio podcast, we're just looking at the footage here of, you know, it looks like the gun. The gun was a 3D printed gun.
Right.
See,
anyway,
at this point we thought
I'll put the link in. It's a really good coverage that Mark does of it, and he points out like how much these healthcare insurance companies are making. It's billions and billions of dollars. I'll put up. That's the link there. So I check that out. Check that out when I've gone. Oh, here. Aye, but it's really good, and I think that's definitely been a pretty mental thing, as Mark said. The fact that everybody's kind of like totally comfortable with the fact that he killed this guy. And perhaps it is provoking conversations fundamentally about capitalism, which is necessary as we're all getting consumed by it. So, you know, maybe this is where we're at. You know, we've got a genocide, and in some ways, it's like I think I kind of have made this point. I tell you what, I am pleased about. I have to say, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have actually fixed my microphone. I've become aware of this. It's like, it wasn't really that complicated to fix it. Now when I think about it, so thanks for all the time that you suffered it cutting in and out. But I don't think it's going to do that now. So I'm quite pleased about that. But I think that the thing about capitalism is it's a system that just kills. It kind of kills you, but just at different rates. So, you didn't want to mention the microphone thing as in it being fixed or not fixed. Oh, please, can you tell me what the solution was? I had it stuck in a high Z input, and I couldn't be bothered going out to the back of my matrix and rewiring something so it didn't go into that input. I kind of knew all along it might have been that, and it was. Anyway, it's kind of like, it's just at the rate at which it dispenses with you, you know. if it's working you to the bone over many years and exploiting your labour and exploiting you and fucking with your mind and fucking with your psychology and everything else, or if it's liquidating you like it's doing to people in Palestine as part of the military-industrial complex, or if it's holding your entire life to ransom like it is with medical insurance in the States, one way or another, it's about the pursuit of profit above humanity. And the political class, whether that be the political... It's like basically, okay, so it's like the neoliberal political class. We've done this, we've been through this many times, you know, whatever, but it's like, doesn't it matter whether the neoliberal political class are just your jobbing town councillor who's just, you know, doffing their cap, doing what they're told as part of the party whip or part of the wider political party establishment or otherwise. I kind of keep making this point, and I'll continue to make this point continually, I suppose, but, you know, we're what I would term post-politics, and the old ways are no longer with us. Social democracy has long since sailed. And we have to do something, and if what we do is just mere disruption at this point, now that is in itself a perfectly valid position to take, and one that I would advocate. Hence why I think everybody should apply to be a councillor. It's free to be a councillor, right? You don't have to pay. Just put your name down, get a countersignee, and get on the ballot, and get everybody on the ballot list. Just put your name down, just be on the ballot, and just disrupt, just frustrate them a little bit, you know, just let them know that, because in some ways, if you think about it, if you don't vote, right, or if you vote and you feel that your vote isn't making a difference, which it obviously isn't, why not at least put yourself on the ballot? Because that's a kind of a little bit more of an assertive position to take as a member of the pissed off electorate. It's a much more effective action than a protest vote, because even if you pick up one vote or two votes or three votes, you know, it's votes that are potentially not going to them, and that's important. So we need to, in my opinion, find little ways where we can provoke and agitate. You need ID to register? I think so. I think you have to have some. You have to prove who you are. Like you have to have I think you do need some ID. I can't remember the information's on the. Certainly, it's a piece of piss to do that. Is there a reason why? Is there a reason why the stream has stopped on X? Is it still there? It's still there, maybe alright. Beldam Lascar says, yet another reason, if there were needed, to boycott the fuck out of McDonald's. Yeah, I think so. I'm very much done with McDonald's. Even I. Okay, hold on. Sorry for a deep question on a Friday night, but what is your take? Me personally, on democracy? They did a decent take on it on Moral Maze. Moral Maze, do they still have that programme? Is that on BBC Radio 4? This week, with a range of opinions, no doubt. I don't. It's a bit of a vague question. I mean, it's like I tell you the person who I haven't got the book, but I'd like to get the book. Is Wendy Brown's written a book called, I think it's Undoing the Demos, and it's a book I've wanted to get for ages. I need to try and get it. Maybe I'll get it for Christmas. Maybe somebody will get it for me for Christmas. And it looks like a really brilliant book about, look, the democracy. I'll give you my answer, right? Democracy as is has become part of the market, right? Democracy for sale. It's just become a sort of commodified section of neoliberalism. One thing I'm not going to get from this point on in what the X as we move forward. I'm going to try to avoid the internecine little beefs and stuff. I got in a bit of a spat a couple of weeks ago with some people online. It's quite petty and stuff, but it was also a bit personal. It's like I can't really be bothered with this stuff. But the one guy, that guy that's always trying to be smug and stuff, he goes, this guy uses the term neoliberalism always and has never used it correctly once. It's like, I challenge you to that, pal. I think you're talking absolute nonsense. Like, you know, don't insult your own intelligence by making such silly statements. But in this this time that we're in now, democracy as we perceive it is just something that can be purchased. So what the demos is, and it's sort of Grecian origins or whatever, is fundamentally compromised to astronomical levels by hypercapitalism or neoliberalism, you know. But we have to. That's why I'm always like banging on about taking psychedelics, because I think that we have to. You can't detach the horror of Palestine. And okay, here's a thing to make. This is why I was going on about local councils and local government. The reason that our local government doesn't have any money, the reason that our if you look around, increasingly our streets are just our cities and towns are just being drained of all kind of function. They're a mess. You have pockets of wealth where there's capital surplus gets poured into it, but then it ghettoises these other areas. But that money is all getting sucked out and being spent on military industrial complex. I mean, literally, that our tax money is being spent to murder people. You know, it's all connected, and it's kind of facile to suggest it isn't. If you want to learn some new words into David Jameson. I'd like to speak to David. I will take the tentative position of speaking to David. I'd love to chat. I'd love to get a chat with David. I thought I've been thinking of that a few times, so hopefully he's accommodating to that. I completely agree. I think David has an awful lot to say on these matters. Probably one of the most. Again, you know, I mean, I know I'm seen to blow smoke up his arse, but I do think David is one of the best journalists in Scotland for a long time, you know, certainly on geopolitics, you know. You talking about standing for local government and being a candidate is why I asked. I'm just a bit of a cynic. What you think you're more cynical than me? Like, let's have a cynic off. That's why I stand. I stand from a position of cynicism. Yes, I do think Scotland's best journalist is David Jameson. I would still stand by that. I think he's a brilliant writer. It's quite difficult at the minute with media and what have you to stay abreast of everything. It's kind of, there's so much going on. We try to do our own stuff, and it's hard to keep abreast of what's going on. A lot of people are outputting, aren't they? So it's kind of like, hold on a minute, what's happened to my? But I do try and check Contour's stuff that they put out, because I think it's good. And David's somebody that I'm always keen to see what David's writing and talking about. Coffee is surprisingly drinkable too. Yes, okay, I couldn't agree more. Right, listen, it's Friday evening. It's Friday that also has. Aye, that's right. Aye, his sister did win Mastermind. No, it wasn't his sister. It was his wife. It was his partner. It was his partner that won Mastermind. Right. It's getting to that time on a Friday evening where I'm going to leave you all. But like I said, I will be returning. I felt like I wanted to just make a wee gentle return here. There was no grand. Capitalism will never be destroyed until a huge shift in collective consciousness. Matty Ross has been paying attention. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think there's lots of it. It's interesting. I see a lot of. I tell you something that's interesting before I do depart. And even space rocket cockman Musk, I've noticed him being quite condescending and critical of people using ayahuasca and psychedelics and whatnot. This is because it frightens people. And it's true that, you know, there are definitely, all drugs and all substances can be abused, and used in the right way and the wrong way. The psychedelics are plant medicine and a sacrament. Like I was talking before about Nicky Sand, people like that. You really want to pay attention to guys like that in terms of how they and how they perceive these substances. But I think at this point we have to recognise the intersect between capitalism and consciousness. Hence my my title here, Capital Consciousness, which can be read in a number of ways. But you know, fundamentally, it's a play on the term capital. You know, obviously I'm conscious of the capital city of Scotland, but my real interest is in the effect that capitalism has on our consciousness. And if there's anything else that can have an effect on our consciousness, I'm interested in that. And there's no doubt about it that psychedelics have a profound impact on our consciousness, or how we interface with consciousness. Also, the questions of what consciousness itself is are of constant interest, and something that we'll be covering more, or attempting to cover more, both here on What the X and on the Patreon with my work. So you will be aware of that as I begin to explore this. This is an interesting thing. Email Antosi, capitalism just needs taking off the capitalists. It's not a bad statement to make, Emil, because people often make this point about Marx. You know, like you get all these really reductive thinkers, these kind of moronic people who witter on about Marx and stuff. Marx was a great admirer of capitalism. As am I. You know, I've said before, you know, capitalism is kind of like dark magic. You know, it's an incredible phenomenon. You know, it's a phenomenal, incomprehensible, vast, you know, reified concept that sort of permeates every last atom of existence. And it's true. It's kind of like, as a force for good in many ways, it can be channeled in very positive ways. So this is an ongoing and endless debate, no doubt, you know. But right now, yeah, Richard Flett says, if you are an evil prick, ayahuasca isn't for you. You need humility and respect. Yeah, I think though, if you did get involved in it, you're going to get schooled, right? You're going to get your arse kicked maybe by it, you know. You're going to get your live stream a DMT trip. I have kind of done that before, actually. You might have seen the early Space Hugo as well. There's one Space Hugo where that is essentially what happened. However, for those of us that are actually aware of DMT, it's not two things. It's not particularly interesting for the outside observer. There's not much you can deduce from somebody that's kind of like, you know, in a semi-comatose state. And also, just as a experience, it is a very personal. You know, it's a very personal, internal thing. You know, it's quite an intimate and personal experience that I think has to be kind of treated with respect, approached in the right way. The thing about DMT is that it's always much scarier the second time or the third time if you're going to do it, because once you've been licked by it the first time, you're like, fuck, right, okay. If it's generally like, I've only known 2 people to have had slightly negative experiences on DMT, and both of them, by their own admission, felt that there was very specific reasons as to why that was. What use would socialism or communism be with sociopaths at the top? I don't know. I don't know. We've been through this before. Neither of these concepts have been properly executed. But what can emerge? What can emerge from capital? Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to... Friday nights are better now. Good to see you back. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the... what is it? If I click this, thank you very much for the super chat. and that's much appreciated. Arpignon. Yeah, like, subscribe. I've got a lot of things I'm trying to put in place over this next few weeks, so hopefully we'll be able to enjoy what we bring to the table. I'm going to depart. It really has been lovely to see you all join me this evening for this gentle return to the X Factor. I'm going to play out tonight with a track from a few years ago from one of my favourite groups, one of my favourite bunch of cats. They're sort of they're Edinburgh based, but they're actually a couple of lads from a wee bit further north. They're sort of Highland lads, really. Dave Swift, nice to see you there. Last Minute Wave. All right, Gaj, good to see you. Right, listen, I'm playing out with Future Get Down. This is called Dream Killers. It's from a few years ago. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll see you back here at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. Ciao.